Hey guys, how you doing? All right. Not sure how this is going to work. I'm using my phone, better camera, but I'm not sure how the comments are going to come through. Only 5 minutes late, maybe, I hope? Okay. Of course, at the last minute, I forgot that I managed to put my laptop in the repair person. Oh, here it is. So it's being repaired using the phone. My gosh, what a week. What a week. The hits keep coming. Craziest election ever. I don't think I even begin to go there. It's been a roller coaster. So a few things I want to talk about. I want to make sure everyone gets on board here before I start talking. Hey, Michael, I'm so glad. Thank you. Hey, Karen. Hey, Kelly. How's it look? Does it look okay? Am I looking all right here? It's been such a week. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, boy. All right. Hey, Patty. How's it going? So, Anne. Yay. So let's talk a little bit. Everyone's coming on board here. I just want to give them a minute to do that before I start really talking. Okay, I can't see. I take the glasses off because I can't stand wearing them, but hey, Sean. Hey, Rosemary. Oh, boy. Well, I guess I'll start by reminding you all we do have the fair tomorrow with Andrea, who has one opening left at the end of the day. She is booked solid. I think she's got a 6:30. If anybody's looking for that one last appointment. Also, Pina and Sherry. So, yeah, we have that going on. And speaking of the fair, I was asked a question earlier today. Someone who has an appointment for tomorrow asked if I was still holding the fair. And I was like, yeah. I thought maybe I missed some big earth-shattering event. And when I asked her what was going on, she goes, no, because COVID rates are going up in Derby. And it's true, they are. Our city hall is shut down. Actually, our mayor and quite a few people have it. Our schools, of course, have shut down. Looks like Connecticut's moving towards to all the schools being totally virtual again. So, yes, we are still having the fair, and yes, I'll be open until such time as we were asked to close, which I will comply with, as I did with the last closing of 2 months. 2 weeks that turned into 2 months. But I did want to say, with regard to the shop, what we're doing is this. We're wearing masks. We are practicing social distancing. We are cleaning with alcohol. We are spraying with Lysol. And I am getting, there's a wait list for it, but I am getting a device that will, with lights, clear the whole area of any virus. And I'll be using that in the back room and the shop as this thing is amping up. Talked to China about that, and she agreed that it was a good idea to get it. It's expensive, a little bit, but actually, it's comparatively speaking to the handheld devices that many of us have to clear. It's not, but it's well worth it, I think. So we'll do that. And until such time as we're told that we need to close, we will be open. And I will have to say that my people, being the best people, have done a great job of self-monitoring. I've never had to say anything. They mask up when they walk in the door. If they forget, I always forget mine, so I sure can't blame anybody else for doing that. I'm one of those people who have to run back to the car because I just can't. I can't accept this ever as being the new normal. But, and I hate them. I hate them. I hate not seeing people's faces. I can't stand them. That being said, we use them, and when there's a lot of people in the shop, like on Saturdays where it tends to get busy, people self-monitor. If they see a bunch milling around beyond a certain number, which they seem to know that instinctively, they step outside. Like, we'll come back in, and they just wait. Everyone waits their turn. So that's been great. All right. But I want to talk a little bit about that and our responsibility. I know some shops were open during the closing that I don't know how or why they were able to be, open. Someone sends them an apothecary and having herbs, and there's nothing. My accountant is a financial person for the Naugatuck Valley Health District, and so she has been very clear about what my responsibilities are. Okay, round 3 for you guys, Kelly. All right. Okay, we have been selling items online, just so you know. I don't have an online store per se. I mean, we do. If you go on the website, we do sell our product lines, and they are up on the website. But what I've been doing, and it's, yeah, Tina, I have my own feelings about the reasons behind some of this, but let's not politicize it here right now. I mean, just because it's a shit show, no matter how you face it, this election's been a shit show, and it's anyway. And from both sides, from both angles, I'm just disgusted, as many Americans are. Anyone who's thinking and watching and seeing it unfold and watching debates, it's just embarrassing. It's all of it. It's just embarrassing. So, there is no reason for us to be open during a pandemic. We have no right to it. But in terms of selling online, a lot of my stuff is one of a kind. A lot of my stuff, there is, even like the pendulums I posted, they're each different. The pendulums that China just wrapped up, there's some beautiful new necklaces. I didn't even get a chance to show them to you yet. But a lot of our stuff is one of a kind. So what I do, and it's time consuming, but I prefer it, is if you want something, if you're looking for something, and I'll be doing the virtual stuff more if it does go to a closing again, just call me, and I will take pictures for you and mail stuff out. I really appreciate, this dog is killing me. I really appreciate all the people who came by to just do pickups, drive-by pickups of sage and soaps and candles. And when I said, guys, you can get all this stuff online. Amazon sells all of this. They're like, no, we want to support you. And you did. And between that and the readings that at this point are all over you can look at the camera. Don't need to be shy now. She got her hair cut last week. So she's looking like one of the Beatles, actually. Dog is making me nuts. She was an only dog. I told you her owner passed away, and I remember when Nancy got her as a puppy, and it was such a wonderful thing because she really did want a dog for so long, and her husband, who was still alive in a nursing home, was really a tough nut. He really was tough on everybody, and estranged from the kids, and all kinds of awful stuff that was going on. And so she had the puppy, and she passed away in the house, and we got the call that had happened, and animal control in Shelton, rather than leaving her during the crisis of COVID in the pound, said, you can take her. And so here she is. But because she was an only dog, she's like an only child that never had any socialization, so she has no idea how to play. She doesn't know how to interact with the other dogs, really. Today I posted a picture of her sleeping with Noah. That was amazing. Because Noah really looks at her like she's that annoying little sister that is kind of not right in the head, that just tags along, and to get his attention, like she'll bite him in the balls, which is really not cool. He's like, that's not cool. He's not happy at all. So you don't bite Noah in the balls. You don't. It's bad. He doesn't like it. Nobody would. Nobody would. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to put her down. See, Noah and Nellie are over there sleeping now in the big bed. Okay, you all right? No, you're hurt. Your feelings are hurt. You want to be over there too, huh? Yeah, you do. I know, you don't understand. Okay, so, anyway, that's what I'm doing in terms of online sales, guys. I mean, pendulums, everything. If you're looking for something, and as I said, I'll do more virtual, those live little things I do. And hopefully, it really won't come to that. Hopefully, they will not close us down during the holiday season. I just can't imagine that that's going to happen. And I'm going to really hope it's not, because I'll be able to sustain it. But I know a lot of more businesses, 60% of the businesses that closed during the pandemic in Connecticut never reopened. And I guess that's national. It's 60%. And that just represents people whose life savings, whose life's work, 4 years ago during my divorce, never could have sustained it. I would have had to close as well. So it really hits home to me. It's just all those years of hard work. We had a local theater that went, was a staple for 30 years. Done. Bakeries that, done. And most small businesses, most owner-operated businesses, we run on very tight margins. So it's just, and then, it's a kick in the teeth to see Target and Walmart and then Amazon, and then for Amazon to do a GoFundMe for their part-time employees. Are you kidding me? For health insurance? And that, you can Snopes check it. It's true. I mean, what the balls does Bezos has to be both the richest man in the world, but you're going to do a GoFundMe for your employees? It's really, that's where it gets hard to bear. That's where it gets really hard to deal with. So, and I always said with the liquor stores being open, you should have seen what was in my inbox with women writing to me and people writing to me about what they're dealing with at home. And, with being trapped at home with the children and someone who was out of control. So all of that aside, yes, that's what I'll be doing if it comes to that, and we're all going to kind of hope and pray that it doesn't come to that. I'm talking away here, not looking, yeah. Hey, Carrie. And, it's... Okay, so let's move on. Is that just a terribly sad? You really need to get down, okay? Why don't you get down now? Go lay down. You're okay. All right? She can't believe that Noah and Nellie are sleeping over there, and you have plenty of places to sleep. Go sleep in your chair for a minute. It's really sad. Oh my God. She's just going to walk by them and try to wake them up. There you go. That's good. That won't get anybody's nerves. All right. Anyway, looking at the big event, and I did a video on this, the big event of the Great Conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. Just to see where this falls in your chart. If you didn't see it, I posted it a couple days ago. Of course, I post a lot. You'll have to go down, but it was a live video I did using astro.com and how you find out where this is going to hit you. It's a big thing. December 21st, 2020. It's the Great Conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. We won't see this happening again until October 31st of 2040. And in fact, this great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter, it's the closest they've been since 1623. And 2020 is unique with this conjunction. And yes, I'm reading off a piece of paper because as I was researching this, there's so much to cover. But 2020 is unique because it completes a 200-year cycle. And moving from an earth sign into an air sign. We're moving from Capricorn into Aquarius. It's a big deal. There is a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction every 20 years. But every 200 years, these conjunctions take place in a new element, instigating a whole new cycle. Ancient astrologers of present-day Iran were the first to decode how the Jupiter-Saturn cycles map into major changes in dynasties. Pay attention, this gets really interesting. In other words, when Jupiter and Saturn conjoin, and that's what conjunct means, it means next to each other. When they conjoin in a new element, there is a shift in world power. For this reason, astrologers call this event the Great Conjunction. Okay, it's all about the shift in world power. Got it? Okay. And we're going from an earth sign, earth which is money, and, earth, right? Earthly matters, into Aquarius, which is air, which is technology, of course, and communication, also revolution. Don't forget Abraham Lincoln, our most famous Aquarius president, instituted huge change in this country in the Civil War. I'm looking at this. Comments. Yeah, I know. Okay, so that's where we are right now. We've been under a transitioning sky in which Jupiter and Saturn are moving from Earth sign into air sign. 2020 is the final year in this 200-year cycle. On December 21st, Jupiter and Saturn conjoin at 0 degrees of Aquarius and they continue to meet in air signs for the next 200 years, and the air signs being Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Now, in researching this astrologically, I learned that throughout history, it's been closely observed by astrologers that it's been linked to the rise and fall of royalty, leaders, and great people. According to astrologer Daniel Ferreira, when a great conjunction occurs during an election or an inauguration year, the president is likely to die in office. This has been the case since 1940, except for the last two great conjunctions. However, there were assassination attempts against both of those presidents. Okay? Now, presidents who were elected around a great conjunction, starting with 1840, and that was William Henry Harrison. He did die of pneumonia in April of 41. Abraham Lincoln, died in office, April of 1865, he was assassinated. In 1880, so 1840, 1860, 1880, James Garfield was elected. He was assassinated in 1881. In 1900, William McKinley was elected, and he was assassinated in 1901. Warren G. Harding died of a heart attack, elected in 1920, died in 1923. Franklin Roosevelt, 1940, died in 1945 of a cerebral hemorrhage. John F. Kennedy in 1960, assassinated in 1963. In 1980, Ronald Reagan, he was shot. It was an attempt at assassination, but he survived. And in 2000, George Bush was thrown a live grenade, which did not detonate. So it was an assassination attempt. So researching even that further, and I think a lot of you know how much I am oh, this dog is killing me. Help me. Fascinated by ancient prophecy. I talk a lot about that and following the ancient prophecy to current world events, which is just mesmerizing for me. Probably terrifying for everybody else, but I'm finding it pretty interesting, and I always have for many years now, long before I opened the shop. So this has also been linked to a Native American leader called Tecumseh. And anyway, looking at comments that I'm not going to respond to. We're not going to politicize this. Tecumseh. And it's been called the Curse of Tecumseh, starting in 1840. Who was Tecumseh? He was a remarkable Native American leader. He was born 1768. He was a Shawnee chief from the Ohio River Valley who envisioned a vast Indian confederacy. He aimed to protect the Ohio River as a border between Native Americans and American settlers. Okay? So, what did he do? Throughout the early 1800s, Tecumseh and his brother Tenskwatawa, he was called the Prophet, traveled extensively among the tribes from Wisconsin to Florida. He was an excellent speaker, and he convinced many tribes to join his cause for Native American unity. Now remember, this is back in the early 1800s. Okay, think about this. Traveling from Wisconsin to Florida. What that meant, what that was. By 1808, a significant number of Native American warriors gathered under Tecumseh's leadership. Around this time, Tecumseh and his brother, Tenskwatawa, founded Prophetstown at the junction of the Wabash and Tippecanoe rivers, which is near present-day Lafayette, Indiana. Wow. I talk all day. This is tough, guys. Come nighttime, I'm like... Plus the heat being on. The dry heat. Woo. Okay. Prophetstown became the site of a large confederacy of Midwestern and Southern tribes assembled to stop American settlers from spreading into Native American lands. William Henry Harrison, this is important, he was then the governor of the Indian Territory, was given the task of confronting Tecumseh and his confederacy of warriors. Harrison was well aware of Tecumseh's power. In a letter to the War Department, he wrote, "The implicit obedience and respect which the followers of Tecumseh pay to him is really astonishing, and more than any other circumstance bespeaks him one of those uncommon geniuses which spring up occasionally to produce revolutions and overturn the established order of things. And what I said about this great conjunction. Pay attention. You learned about it in Texas. Now, I went to high school 1 year in Oklahoma, and yes, Native American, absolutely studied that, yes. Native American history was part of our curriculum. Anyway, ready for this? Okay, so early November 1811, Harrison organized a group of 1,000 men, and he arrived outside of Prophetstown. While Tecumseh had gone to recruit more allies, Tensquanada, he ordered an attack on Harrison. However, the Native American forces under him were overtaken. Okay. And after the defeat, the Confederacy at Prophetstown dissolved. This was the beginning of the end of Tecumseh's Confederacy. The confrontation came to be known as the Battle of Tippecanoe. And there was a saying, Tippecanoe and, what was that called? It was Tippecanoe and something too. Anyway. Tippecanoe and Tyler too. Anyway. It was known as the Battle of Tippecanoe, and it would eventually be popularized in Harrison's successful campaign for the presidency with the song-turned slogan, Tippecanoe and Tyler too. To gain more power for his cause, Tecumseh and his allies sided with the British in the War of 1812. Fighting alongside the British in the Battle of the Thames in Ontario, Canada, he was shot and killed in October of 1813. His body was mutilated, and he was buried in a mass grave near the battlefield. But this battle did more than just change the course of American history. It contributed to the canon of American lore. Legend holds that Tensquanada avenged the death of his brother by placing a hex or a curse on his archenemy and the other future U.S. presidents. Now, William Harrison ran for president. 1840, he became president. He was the governor. However, the prophet, Tensquanada, placed a curse and said, Harrison will die, I tell you. And after him, every great chief chosen every 20 years thereafter will die. And when each one dies, let everyone remember the death of my people. This malediction, commonly referred as the curse of the prophet, was apparently set in motion when William Henry Harrison was elected president in 1840. He succumbed to pneumonia just 1 month after taking office. Abraham Lincoln, 1860, shot by John Wilkes Booth, 1865. Okay, I just went over that, but James Garfield, 1880, assassinated 1881. William McKinley, 1900, shot 1901. Warren G. Harding, 1820, died of a heart attack, 23. Franklin Roosevelt, 1940, cerebral hemorrhage. John F. Kennedy, 1860. In all, 7 great chiefs, chosen every 20 years, had died while in office. So, how does this affect us personally? The Jupiter conjunct Saturn transit. Now, some of you actually were born with this in your natal chart, Saturn and Jupiter conjunct. And you should, in fact, Google search that because it's a big deal in your natal chart if you're born with this conjunction. And of course, what house it is located in has to be looked at as well. But in terms of the transit, how these planets are moving through our chart, because the planets are always moving. Our natal chart's a snapshot of where the planets were when we were born. But then they continue moving, from that moment we're born. Okay, Jupiter conjunct Saturn. Jupiter expands, Saturn teaches lessons. It's a time of opportunity, growth, and good fortune. Your luck is always where your Jupiter is. You've reached the end of a phase of life, and you'll feel like you have to advance to a higher level. You'll have a feeling of completion or contentment with your achievements thus far. You may realize you can go no further in your current career, or just feel like taking on a new challenge. I gotta tell you, I've been feeling that, and this conjunction in Capricorn lands in my 6th house of everyday work life. And yes, I've been feeling like time to take on some new stuff. And anyway, You may find barriers to your progress, that's Saturn, which you would need to climb over or go around. But if you've planned well, you're self-employed, or you have a lot of freedom, you could grow within the existing structures of your life. I don't plan on closing my store. I plan on expanding it. Either way, you'll be breaking through barriers or expanding within larger boundaries. This is also a time of greater self-awareness, when you may realize you are not content with things as they are. Too much responsibility, a boring job, stifling traditions and rules, not enough time, or a demanding boss or partner may become too much to cope with. You may even realize that your own fears and inhibitions are holding you back from happiness and success. If so, this transit will cause you so much frustration that change becomes inevitable. Even if you don't feel restricted, you will seek greater freedom and prosperity. Fated events, lucky breaks, or deliberate actions will create opportunities for personal and professional growth. This could involve higher education, the law, religion, spirituality, long-distance travel, a new career, or a new relationship. It also might be a good time to borrow for an investment property, to buy your own home, or to renovate. Perhaps you can get financial backing to start or grow your own business. And I can't tell you how many people in readings over these past few months are looking at ways to begin their own business, grow their own business, or start their own business. So there you go. All right. So let's see. I don't know if I can see anything. Oh, the comments. Okay. Yes. AI technology. I'm looking at the comments back. Okay. Yep. I'm looking back now at the small business talk. Yes, dog. Yep. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to look back and see what people said. Okay, trying to buy a house. Hey, Gail. Hey, Paul. All right. My phone is different than on the laptop. Okay, here we are. We're done. Awesome. All right. Any questions? I know I read a lot of that out loud. There was so much there, and I wasn't expecting to find all that, as I was just kind of looking to see if I could add anything to that live video. Time for change. Yep, absolutely. All right. I guess let's throw cards. If no one has anything else to add to that. What are you doing? You can't eat my cards. She's just, wow. What's wrong, honey? The animals are really clingy. I was still talking about that. Real clingy. And I was talking to some people at the shop last week or early this week. I don't know. Time is a blur at this point. It went so slow through September. And then come October, it just went to warp speed and things just happening so quickly. But we were talking about all the untimely death. Young people in their early 30s, 40s, just dying very abruptly. A lot of heart issues, heart attacks. And then all the young animals, animals in their single digits, 5, 6, 7 years old, going in and having, terminal illnesses, terminal cancers, and very abruptly dying, very quickly dying. And I was saying this, and the woman standing by was like, I work for a veterinarian, and we were just having this conversation that we've never seen a time where so many animals came in, young, untimely deaths. So it's a little scary for that. I know, not you. No, nobody missed anything. Hey, Aaron. Tina, if you're having trouble deciphering your chart, you really might want to think about going on elsaelsa.com and getting her natal chart. And there's actually a children's chart. It's a $10 chart. And I got it from my son's new girlfriend. And just as a birthday gift. And so it's a really good chart. It's her children's chart, but get it for yourself. It'll go over the basics and a great learning tool, but it's also a really good chart. Okay, so start there, Tina. All right. Also on ElsaElsa.com, sign up for her blog. It's a daily blog. She's the longest running blogger on astrology in the country. She started back in the day, lifelong astrologer. And she and Alethea, of course, who's writes for my newsletter. Alethea is an old school astrologer, young woman, but she does it old school. She does it with, I'm itching all over the place. My hair is all over. It gets under my glasses and it just itches. What else? Yeah, old school does it all by hand, so it's more expensive to go through Alethea. A lot more interesting in some ways too. But the children's chart through ElsaElsa.com, child's natal chart, and they even go into like illnesses or where weaknesses could be in the body. A really good little chart, like 14 pages, so well worth it. And then if you go on her website, you'll find that she has all of this. I mean, a huge volume of writing. And you could look up anything. You could look up the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. And all her blogs on this topic would be there. And I think she's been blogging for 25 or 30 years. So there's a huge amount of information there. All right? Do you want to just say hi? No? You really don't. You just... Could you get down? You need to get down. Okay. So, anyway, that's that. If you want to learn astrology, she does just understanding your natal chart. She has some great articles on just, how to do that, what you want to look at, how you're looking at the houses. Because that's what makes astrology interesting. Astrology and your chart is not meant to punish you, by the way. None of this is a punishment. No one's cursed. Some charts are a lot heavier than others. Talking to my friend Sean about his chart, very heavy. My own chart, pretty heavy. Anyone that's got a lot of planets in the 12th or 8th house is going to feel the weight of their chart, the weight of what they came in with, in terms of the planetary energy, the astrological energy of your birth. It's some of us have more to accomplish, more to learn, but also a heavier karmic debt than others. Okay, you're killing me. She's killing me because, she's also naughty in the house, and she's got to get with the rhythm here a little bit. It's been a few months, and she's still struggling to get with how we do things around here. And constantly barking, so that's been a lot of fun. There's a high-pitched yip that just goes through my head like a nail. Anyway, astrology is meant to be a tool to help us know ourselves better and to help us communicate and relate better with others. That's the purpose of astrology. In charts that I've seen where the moon and sun are in opposition or square, and your sun is your physical needs, your physical self, and your moon is your emotional needs, your emotional self. And when those two don't agree with each other, when they're in opposition, when they're squaring up against each other, we often find people who say things like, even I don't know what I want sometimes, or I don't know why I do that. Well, because your needs and your wants are in absolute opposition. So that's what happens. But that's a question that should be answered too. And again, I hear it in my readings. It's like, I've cheated on my last 3 boyfriends. I don't know why I do that. Okay, figure it out before you cheat on your 4th. Or I keep getting fired from jobs. I keep doing the same thing. Okay, learn why. Astrology, your chart, can give you clues and answers to, why you're so unhappy, why things aren't working out, why you choose the same things, why you follow the same patterns. Not because you're meant to keep following them, though, because your chart progresses. It doesn't stay stagnant. Everything keeps moving. You're meant to grow, too. So the idea being we're not children, and we need to learn from our mistakes and figure out how to be better people. Astrology is meant to do all of that. Just a tool, okay? Because nothing makes me angrier, and I can get kind of snippy when people say, well, I know I'm really critical, but I'm a Virgo. How it is. It's like, no, I don't. Don't be a bitch just because you're a Virgo. Well, I'm a Pisces. I can't, I'm wishy-washy. So am I. Stop it. You don't have to be wishy-washy or, go with the flow. Only dead fish go with the flow. Stop it. There's no excuse for bad behavior. And just because of that, and also, I've been pretty notorious for having a very dim view on people who excuse bad behavior because, oh, you know, they were probably bullied too, or they were probably abused. I don't care. I left them at 14. And you know what? Having a shitty childhood does not excuse you and let you have a shitty life or be shitty to other people. You have a responsibility. Grow up. All right? Really tired of that. This victim mentality. I don't think so, Shaw. Thank you, Sean. Her transit chart is really good. Thank you. I do. Okay, so Sean brings this up, but I do the solar return every year for my birthday. That's another great chart that she offers. All her charts are in that $12 range, which is a really good compatibility chart too. I don't think so. Although shamanically it would matter, not astrologically, okay? Because certainly the weather patterns, any sort of events like eclipses, shamanically, people born in those times, that carries its own special weight. But astrologically, not so much. Oh, I'm sorry about Autumn. I'm sorry, Erin. All right. Thanks, Jennifer. She is cute. All right. I hope that answered some questions. I hope that helped a little bit. And let's throw cards, okay? So, I'm going to be working at a weird angle because I've got 2 tables here. Can everybody see me okay? Is this okay? Lighting and all that? Doing all right? What? Oh my God. What? I wish you'd get down. It's really hard doing this around you on my lap. No? Just can't believe it. That they're sleeping over there on that big pillow and not her. Oh, Poppy. All right. I'm just going to do my usual 6-card spread, which is the situation, the immediate circumstances, and then the not so immediate circumstances. They're pretty much short-term readings, what's going on right now, okay? Give me a minute and I'm going to get to all the signs, okay? And also, just so you know, some people ask me about the rising and the moon. When I do moon signs, I'll let you know, but this really applies to your sun. Not your rising, it's your sun. Now, when I read, does that mean that, as I said, it's all the time, but for new people, does that mean every Gemini is experiencing this? No, it doesn't. But what I have found is that very often someone close to you is going through it. So the message may not be for you, but if it's something you've been thinking about, I see it in my readings as well, it may pop up, okay? So if somebody who's been worried about their mother, that happened today, really concerned about their mother, big things, well, their mother came up front and center. And we talked about the mother, even though she's, I didn't come here to talk about my mom. Well, but that's what's first and foremost, because your mom's going through these problems, and that's what you've been trying to think and figure out. Okay? And sometimes people ask what the difference between my little 10-minute readings and my longer readings are. Still a good reading. My short readings are still good readings. They're not private readings. The shop is open. I've got to answer phones, wait on customers. Sometimes there's a line. There's no appointment for a $5 reading. A longer reading, I'm going to go more in depth. I'm going to, move further out, and we're going to take on more topics usually. The $5 reading will address what's immediately at hand. I talk really fast, so I get a lot done in 10 minutes. So I also believe that everyone should be able to afford a reading. Everyone should have access to that. I also don't think that your first reading should cost you a fortune. I'm pretty amazed at what some people are charging for readings right now. You are going to get down, okay? I can't take any more of that. I can't speak to it. Everyone can charge what they want to charge for a reading. I can tell you that with some of these charges, what people are wanting, I would want Jesus to come down from heaven and throw cards for me. I would never pay that price. Wow, man. Some people have a very healthy sense of what they deserve to get paid. But, yeah. I haven't raised my fare prices in all these years, and I'm not going to be raising them for the foreseeable future. And that's the truth. I take a $5 cut for my readers, so I keep the prices low on Saturday. And it has always worked out. We have more than enough. Shop's always busy. And I really, I like the way I do business. So I'll be continuing that. Poppy, you got to go lay down, honey. I'm done. Okay? No, Patty, thank you. No, it's I'm in the shop, and that's I'm not meant to be there and be in the back room or talking to people or on my phone. I mean, I'm there because I love people. I love people. That's why the masks bother me. I really like seeing people smile. I like, I'm a people person, and I always kind of roll my eyes when I hear so-called spiritual people talk about how they can't stand people, or I just, wow, what? Makes no sense. Why would you open a shop if you don't want to talk to people? I love hearing people, and I always say I'm the right person for the job because I love hearing success stories. I love hearing about people, and I love seeing the posts of new babies and new houses and new cars and vacations. I mean, I think that's awesome. I love hearing about that, and I love being part of it. I love when I do a reading and I see a baby coming and someone says to me, "Oh my God, we've been trying for 4 years." I'm like, "Well, it's on the way." And they call me and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm pregnant." It's fantastic. Or even magically, I always say China and I both, that's our favorite magic is baby magic. I went through infertility myself with my first child, and China was adopted. So we love that. We love to lend our energy to people who want children should have children. Okay? What? You're losing it, little girl. You're losing it. All right. She's just all over the place. And yeah, that's not about a shout out to me in the prices. Sometimes people ask that question a lot. Like, why do you charge this? Or what's the difference between this and that? And of course I do the really long readings with the charts and with the chakra checks, and there's a lot more to that too. I don't do mediumship. Not that I can't do mediumship. I don't like mediumship. I don't want to talk to dead people. And they're always around. I see them. But I just don't, between my 4 kids, who are my priority always, my business, my people, my living people, my pets and my life and my friends, I don't have time for your dead people. They are invasive. And honestly, unless they have the cure for cancer or winning lottery numbers, they're not going to say anything to interest me. No offense. There's lots of mediums out there. They can talk to them. But I like to get sleep. When I finally do get to bed, I need to sleep. Dead people hanging around my bed is not making me happy. It happens. Wake up with someone staring at you. I don't really like it. Leave me alone. And I know it's good. I know it's valid work. That's why I have mediums in the store. It is valid work. And it is consoling to someone who's mourning a passing to know that their person's over there safely and waiting. And or their pet, their animal. I've got an animal psychic now in the store, and she's doing amazing work. I'm really happy with Teresa. But it's not work that I want to do. I just, doesn't interest me. So people ask that question a lot, and no. Oh, I'm sorry, Tina. I will tell you honestly that a lot of people are really tired. A lot of people are just, they're tired. It's exhausting. And I know a lot of psychics, and I hate to lend energy to it. And I don't believe that talking about something makes it happen. Not like this, but I know a lot of intuitives who have been getting sick. People I respect and people I know, and I mean more than one, who are dealing with physical issues. And a lot of people are being shut down. A lot of us aren't being allowed to know what's going to happen next. And I'm just like, okay, no problem. I'll just watch like everybody else. All right. So, finally, let's throw cards. Thank you for that. Thank you. Okay, you know what? You really have to get down. I'm being patient with you, but get down. Where's Orlando? Go find Orlando. Where is he? Orlando! No? A weird little dog. Weird dog. Okay, let's start. Aries. Here we go. Okay, Aries, what's going on with you? The Hierophant reversed. The Queen of Swords. The Fool reversed. The Five of Wands. The Five of Cups. The Star reversed. All right. So Aries is notorious for head wounds, first of all. Most Aries at some point in their life suffer a head wound. Hey, hi Beata. The idea of a battering ram, that's Aries. Beating your head against a wall, that's Aries. And that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at the Hierophant reverse, trying to change things, tired of a rut, trying to make something happen. And being really clear. The Queen of Swords is very clear with her language. What she wants, what she wants to have happen. That being said, it's not happening. The Fool reversed. The Five of Wands, the same situation over and over, and not being able to push through that. The Five of Cups, a sense of regret. The Star reversed, a sense of... And basically, it speaks to logic, brain versus brawn. That would be the theme of this, I would say. And the Hierophant reversed. You've got to go a different direction. Aries can sometimes get tunnel vision. That is one thing about the sign that I've seen. My own father's an Aries. I have Aries friends. I've got Aries clients. China's an Aries. And sometimes Aries gets, tunnel vision. Aries is the baby of the zodiac. It's the first sign. And we all know what a baby or a toddler is. When they want something, they want it. And you can try to distract them, but they want what they want. Even if it's not good for them, even if it's not going to work out, they want what they want. And in this case, Aries is being told, you may want that, but until you go a different way, you're not going to get it. You've got to look at this differently. You got to step outside the box. And it may be that you want something that you just can't have. And it's so funny because I was just thinking of this last night in the shower. I love horses, and I grew up at the racetracks. My grandfather was a semi-professional gambler, and we were at the track a lot in California. And I wanted to be a jockey. I was not very tall, and I was very, very thin, and I grew 5 inches in 1 year. 5 inches in 1 year. Anyway, I had a back brace, I had scoliosis, and man, I just shut up straight, and that was done. Even to be an exerciser, I'm just tall. And so you can say, I want to do this, but, you can't. You can't always get what you want. Sometimes it's not going to happen. I was also a dancer. I studied dance. And I remember there was a dance troupe, and they were doing after exhibit or after a ballet, they were taking questions from the audience because a bunch of schools and students had gathered to watch. And one of the mothers said, my daughter is 5'4" and weighs 120 pounds, and she's being told that she's too big. Is that true? What do you think? Because here she's like, she should be able to be a dancer. And the guy's like, absolutely, she's too big. She needs to drop like 30 pounds. We're throwing people around up here, and that's 5'4" and 90 pounds, 95, under 100 pounds. And everyone was gasping. It's like, but that's the reality of it. You have to be very, very thin. And so just because you want something doesn't mean you're meant to have it. And that's what I'm seeing here for Aries. You need to rethink your goals. You need to re-look at how you're doing it, regroup, attack this, because Aries attacks everything with a passion, with a vengeance, and just come at a different direction. Okay? Think outside the box. And you know what? Aries has worked so hard, and it's just frustrating. I get that. There's frustration all over this. And I'm sorry for that. But you can get what you want, but you've got to it's going to take more logic. It's going to take more thinking. Okay? And not necessarily more education, by the way. I don't see that here. It's just going to take a different approach. All right, Taurus. Let me just see what's going on here, too. Oh, no one's commenting. Okay, you're riveted by my readings. That's wonderful. I've rendered you speechless. Taurus. Okay, so we have the Ace of Coins reversed. We have the Emperor reversed. We have Temperance reversed. We have the Three of Coins reversed. We have the Eight of Coins. We have the Two of Wands. Now, I always talk about how the signs being conjunct next to each other, very often the readings kind of bleed into one another. Now, in this case, Taurus is frustrated also, like Aries, frustrated. But, of course, Taurus will be frustrated with lack of money. Aries is frustrated with lack of action and lack of opportunity. Taurus is also frustrated with lack of opportunity, but it's also to make money. All these coin cards reversed. The Emperor reversed. It would be someone not making money in the business. And of course, Taurus rules the second house of money and investments and money earned. In the case of Taurus, opportunity arises there too. But for Taurus, I'm looking at the Eight of Coins, which is being motivated and being inspired by your work. The Eight of Coins talks about inspirational work and earning money. But it also comes through the Two of Wands, which is partnership. Now, I say the Two of Wands is usually that card where someone calls out of the blue and says, hey, I heard you're looking. They're hiring where I work. I'll put in a good word for you, put an application. Or, hey, I need someone. Can you come work for me? It's that job that comes out of the blue. But in this case for Taurus, this is a partnership. This is someone who can help you, Taurus. But you got to be willing to share a little bit. That is Taurus's shadow. Is greed and lack of ability to share can be Taurus's shadow. In this case, you kind of got to open up the possibility that someone knows a little more than you do, and you've got to get off your stubborn edge and say, okay, you know what? I want a partner. I want to hear what someone else has to say. Aries has to think about different ways of doing something, and Taurus has to entertain that someone else might have something to add that will inspire them and again, help with the money flow. Okay? There's no one giving you the money, and there's no one giving Aries the answers. You're going to find those on your own. But there is help there. And there is someone who's close to you, partner-wise, who can shift this up. Because there's a lack of balance. Temperance reverse. There's a lack of balance. And it's, you're working hard and you're not making the money. You like what you do, but you're not making the money. All right? And it's not about going to see a professional person. This is more about friendship and partnership. This isn't about going to see someone, a job coach. This is really about someone close to you, a friend, a partner, saying, I can help you with that. Okay? All right, Gemini. Let's see what's going on. Phone's going off here. You got called a brute at work this week? Okay, Aaron the Aries. Oh my God. Aaron is like a little teeny tiny person, just so you know. Brute, But that's an Aries. Aries could be 4'11", and let me tell you, you wouldn't know it, okay? It just a lot of energy packed in a petite body. I'm well aware. Okay. You know what happens, guys? I'm scratching my face all the time. My glasses get stuck. My hair gets stuck under my glasses when I'm looking down. I was watching some videos. I'm always like touching my face, and I don't do that all day long. But it's the hair falls forward. I don't want to pull it all back. I do that at work a lot, and yeah, and so that's why I do that. It itches. All right. Anyway, Gemini. We start with the Tower. The next two cards are the Seven of Cups reversed and the King of Swords. We have the Six of Coins reversed, we have the Five of Swords reversed, and we have the Ace of Wands. Well, now what's very interesting looking at these last two cards, whoa, that was fun, kicking the old phone over. Sorry about that. Okay. Is that here with Gemini, like I said, that the help wouldn't come from professional help. It would come from more of a friend or a partner. And in this case, I'm working backwards, by the way. The Five of Swords reversed is taking professional advice, okay? Asking for professional advice. That's someone who's unhappy in the marriage, going to see a lawyer. Someone who's being abused at work, going to see HR. Going to a marriage counselor. Seeking professional help and listening to professional help. Ace of Wands. That tells me that your help is coming from a professional person versus a friend or a partner, okay? What do I see happening? Well, I see the Tower, and that's chaotic change. That's, everyone worries about the Death card, and believe me, the Tower card packs a punch. It is that 9/11 card, and it even looks like 9/11. There are people being thrown out of the Tower, and it is that chaotic endings that you just sit and you watch it with your mouth open going, oh, fuck, like we did when we watched those planes fly into the Tower. We just stood there and just said, oh my God, is this really happening? And I gotta say, in this case too, Gemini, the Tower is upright, so it's coming at you. You're not instrumenting this. It's something that's happening. And the Seven of Cups reversed. Emotionally, there's no emotional. There's no way of knowing how to handle this. And there is no emotional way to handle it. It has to be handled through logic. The King of Swords, clear speaking. This is no time to lose your head. This is no time to have a nervous breakdown. And I'm thinking about some of my readings where people came in and right away it was issues with the kids. I mean, lots of tears, lots of tissues. I always gauge my readings by how many boxes of tissues I go through every week. Because so much worry, But if you're a parent and your kid is failing or is in crisis, you don't have the luxury, okay, of falling apart. You don't have the luxury. I'm seeing that here for Gemini. You don't have the luxury. You have to step up and be an adult and use your big boy and your big girl voices and talk like an adult to work your way through this. Yep, life is throwing you a curveball. Sucks to be you. In the case of whatever it is that you're dealing with or watching happen to someone you care about, maybe. It came out of nowhere, and it's like that nasty diagnosis, that awful event, that suicide, that you're just like, how the hell is this happening to me? How could this be happening to me? Because it is happening to you, and it's just, emotionally, it's a lot to deal with, but you don't have the luxury of falling apart. The Six of Coins reversed. One of the reasons why you have the luxury to fall apart is that there's also bills to pay and financial responsibilities too. So you don't have the luxury of just flaking out. You still got responsibilities. But in this case, how do you resolve it? Honey, you got to go see professional help. This is like being served with divorce papers. And you could fall apart, but you got kids that are watching you. You've got a job to get to. You can't just go to bed and say, I'm not going to get out of bed. I'm not going to deal with it. No, you're not in third grade. You have to go to work. And you're going to see a lawyer. And you're going to find out how to work your way through this awful thing. Okay? I'm looking at a comment by Sandra. Yeah, the Tower card will always give you, but I don't see this as being a death situation because certain other cards aren't laying next to it. The Tower can speak to that, but this really is something that, man, it's a crappy thing that someone has to deal with, and you've got to use logic, which Gemini is good at. That's Gemini rules that. It's an air sign. Okay, so you're playing to your wheelhouse. All right, Cancer. And even though that great conjunction hasn't arrived yet, we're feeling the energy of it. It's the 21st of December, right around the solstice, no less, or on the solstice. It's exact, but we're feeling the pressure now. That pressure, like I talked about here, this desire, there's too much responsibility, a boring job, stifling traditions, rules, not enough time, or a demanding boss, partner. too much to cope with. Okay? So you may be feeling this idea that your inhibitions or your own fears are holding you back. And the frustration that will change becomes inevitable. So that's what we're feeling now. If you're not in a happy place, you're feeling the pressure, you're feeling the crunch. All right? All right. It also can be that midlife crisis energy where, oh my God, look how old I am. The kids are leaving home. I've got another 20 years of work and I am miserable. I don't want to do this anymore. That too. Okay? All right, Cancer. We have the Page of Swords reversed. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. We have the Five of Cups reversed. We have the Empress reversed. Page of Wands reversed. Three of Cups reversed. And on first glance, looking at this makes me think of issues with children. Children in school, children emotional issues, depression, anxiety, which of course everyone's dealing with. If we have kids, it's been rough. But as a mother, and Cancer rules the house of the mother, the Empress reversed, a mother feeling out of her power. That's tough. You also may not be feeling supported by your co-parent in dealing with these issues around the kids. The good news is I'm seeing finances stable, maybe after a long time of not being stable, finances stabilizing, and now you got to put your attention onto the kids and say, okay, I need to figure out what's going on in my own home. Page of Wands reversed, Page of Swords reversed. This really does speak to frustration and in the home, which was we're seeing. The kids are not meant to be home all day long, learning this way, learning virtually. It can work. And it is working. It's going to have to work, but it's still frustrating. And also for kids who are juniors and seniors, they're losing a lot. I just had this conversation. They're losing prom. They're losing Friday night football games and the socialization that goes on there and socialization in general. And I'm just seeing kids very stymied athletically. The Page of Wands reversed. There's that energetic stymie, and the Page of Swords reversed, which is the communication, and also high school kids especially, they partner up. And we're looking at the Ace of Cups reversed, the Three of Cups reversed. Where are they meeting? How many kids do I read? 16, 17, 18, and it's always the same thing about the boyfriends and the girlfriends and and that's part of being a teenager. So I'm just seeing a mother really frustrated, or someone who's in that mother role, and there's lots of men who are both mother and father to their children. I hear you, and I've seen you. I've certainly read you. But it's that nurture role, and just the frustration of watching your kids not get their needs met, not able to, and again, I'm going to say probably, and no one better than a Cancer to sit there and say, okay, I'm going to do what I got to do just to work-wise, and then my free time is going to be spent trying to enrich my kids a little bit, trying to help my kids out. And if you don't have kids, it could be that, it's your brother or sister's kids. Maybe there's nieces, nephews, and your sister's telling you, oh my God, I'm going crazy. And maybe you're going to step in and say, hey, you know what? Let me take them, and I'll take them for a ride, or we'll go fishing, or we'll do something. Okay? So if you know somebody who's really got their hands full, or maybe is really struggling with the idea of working at home and trying to step in, help them out. Which I don't have to tell you. Cancer is naturally very nurturing, but this is the time that the parents are struggling too. Okay, and this, for Cancer, it really speaks to the nurture of children and kids really coming unhinged. All right, Leo. And I've been reading a lot of Leos this week, just for the record, too. A lot of Leos coming in. And they're opposite, Aquarians. I've been seeing a lot of Aquarius people too. Lots of frustration. All right, Leo. I have the Seven of Coins reversed. I have the Knight of Cups reversed. I have the Nine of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the Four of Cups, and the Nine of Wands reversed. How does that translate? Well, we start with the Seven of Coins, which is always new ways of making money. The Seven of Coins upright is, how do I make more money? And it's reversed, so it's like, I know how to make more money. You know what you got to do. The Knight of Cups reversed, it's almost like, okay, so money's coming easier, so of course relationship has to suffer. Isn't that the way? It's we're never perfect, right? If one thing's going well, something else is really sucking up the place. And your luck for Leo really does seem to be running to the money, finance end of things. And it also speaks to maybe part of the workload is not stuff you really enjoy or love. It's just stuff you got to do. We all have that. The Eight of Cups speaks to travel. The Four of Cups is, I don't know what I want. And the Nine of Wands reversed is, I'm not sure I have what I need to bring it to the next level. So basically for Leo, I know what I want. I know how I can make more money. The question is, do I have what it takes to get to that next level? The Nine of Wands upright being crossing bridges, crossing, promotions, doing what you got to do to climb that next rung of the ladder, but it's reversed. It's like, so do I got what it takes? A lot of times it's lack of confidence, which is weird in a Leo. Leo is usually full of confidence, but not always. Leo deals with self-doubt. The Eight of Cups is often a card of going home. Eight of Cups, leaving home. Now we got Thanksgiving, and while lots of folks aren't going to be doing big gatherings, it could be you're going home to be with your parents, but this idea of travel for Leo is right there in the near future. And sometimes that's what it takes. And for Leo, I'm going to say changing your environment to get a fresh perspective. Leo is always optimistic. The Nine of Cups, which is wishes coming true. You're going to land on your feet, big cat that you are, but you know what you got to do. You're just not sure that you have what it takes. And that's tough for Leo, because Leo's optimism for the fire signs, especially Leo, ruled by the sun. Leo is like, I can take on any challenge. I'm good. But, Leo, you're kind of self-doubting that right now. And, you also might have had the wind taken out of your sails. You may have had someone insult you or hurt your feelings and cast doubts on your ability to get something done, too. Whether it's a coworker or a partner, this idea of, you're not enough for me or you're not enough for this job. Oh, okay, Sandra. All right? And so stepping outside of your environment, however that be, because travel can be travel of the mind as well as physical travel, but stepping outside, taking a break, closing the door on the office, and turning off the computer, and just, I gotta walk away from this for a while. Get back to your roots, okay? That idea of going home, and really, yeah. I'm not gonna beat that dead horse. You know what you gotta do. You gotta find your mojo, Leo. All right, and now Virgo. Okay. This is, I don't drink. Everyone knows I don't drink. But this is this iced tea. It's stress relief iced tea. It's got a lot of B vitamins in it. And I put a shot of apple cider vinegar in there. So, woo. Lucky me. Anyway. Page of Coins. First card. 10 of Wands reversed. The Lovers reversed. The High Priestess. The Three of Swords reversed. And the World upright. Okay, so this is really career. Well, this is a lot of stuff. All right, so the Page of Coins is a great card because the Page of Coins brings in news of money. Pages brings in news. Oh, Tina. Okay. I'm sorry, Tina. Okay, Page of Coins, news of money. The Ten of Wands reversed is the straw that broke the camel's back, and the Lovers reversed. And I'm going to say, okay, well, the High Priestess, the Three of Swords reversed, the World. This is Virgo at the end of the rope. This is Virgo. A lot of anxiety, the desire for a big change. Finding new ways to make money. The money is right there. I'm just going to throw one more card. The King of Cups. All right. See, in this case, Virgo needs to not logic their way. This is one time when Virgo's got to put logic behind them, which is hard for a Virgo. And less analysis and more emotion. That's not easy for the average Virgo, because Virgo wants to overanalyze and put everything in very clear terms. I always think of like legal secretaries. Just that ability to put things in boxes and boundaries. Virgos are usually really big with boundaries. And Virgo, change needs to happen. Virgo is not, it's like money coming in, but there's something emotionally not happening here. And trying to understand why. Why is this elusive? Why is this not happening? And I'm thinking about the Virgos I've read, and one in particular that's such a dear person that came to my store, and with that whole thing, that whole why is this not happening for me? Why am I not good enough? Why, we had a long talk about that. But the thought that things are never going to change, the thought that it's always going to be this way. Straw that broke the camel's back. Tired of, it's almost like tired of not having passion. When I look at the Lovers reversed, it's like, okay, I work and I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, but where's the passion? Where's the meaning for it? What am I doing this for? That's exactly who am I doing this for? Who am I doing this for? I'm not happy. So who am I doing it for? And there's a lack of I don't want to say spirituality, but yeah. Like the heart isn't there, working hard at a job and like, what am I doing this for? I just, what am I? And this need to still gotta make money. I mean, there's no doubt. This isn't about, okay, I'm gonna go, sell my belongings and go live off the land somewhere. I mean, no, that's not what they're talking about here. But this idea of I don't love what I'm doing and I'm not getting satisfaction. I want something different. The world shows up because I want something different. And I'm going to say, for Virgo, it can happen. I'm seeing it happen. The Knight of Coins, the Page of Coins, is almost assuring us of that. And the world is saying, yeah. But it's something that you have to feel, not do. For Virgo, this isn't about taking action. This isn't about service. This isn't about service to others, which Virgo rules that service to others. Why so many Virgos are nurses. So many nurses are fitness trainers, nutritionists. Virgo rules that sixth house of everyday life and co-workers. And I always say Virgo shows they care by taking care of. And they also love being a little bossy. So they really enjoy being a fitness trainer or a nutritionist and telling people how to eat, telling people how to, what Virgo sees as taking care, other people see as nagging. So That's something that Virgo struggles with, is that their desire to help can be misinterpreted for being control, and it's usually, rarely is it that. It's rarely about being in control. It's more about organizing. Organizing. Virgo doesn't like chaos. They don't like living in chaos. They're polar opposite. Pisces, very comfortable with chaos. Okay? I always say my Virgo friends would die. I'm not going to show you this place, man. I got piles of stuff, and yeah. And I had a Virgo reader for a while, and I don't see a lot of Virgo readers, but I had one, and I swear to you, every time she came in my shop, without even thinking about it, she'd be straightening everything. Like all the displays were at right angles, and she'd, everything's like tumbled around my store. We're not exactly known for organization, but that's the first thing she would do. Just the minute she'd walk in, she'd start straightening stuff and getting everything in straight rows, and I like, okay, all right, there you go. All right, I don't know if that helped or not, because that was a lot of weird stuff, Virgo, but I think it really might be time to set aside doing things the way you think you have to and doing things the way you want to. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And not feeling selfish about that, okay? That's a big deal. Don't feel selfish about that. It's okay to say, I'm not happy, I don't like the way things are going, and I money's money, but I need more. I want more. Okay? You love chaos? Oh, shut up, Sean. Of course you do with that 12th house. But you love to conquer chaos, if I am reading that correctly in terms of your chart, buddy. Chaos is a challenge. It's your great white whale. All right. Okay. Libra. I'm getting goofy. When I get tired, it's like I'm drunk. My son was saying that to me when I was so tired one night a couple weeks ago. He's like, Mom, like you're laughing at everything. It's like you're drunk. And he's like, you're tired. You get like, I get punchy when I'm tired. So yeah, that's what you're seeing right now. I get giddy tired. Right? Okay. So, Libra. I'm also very conscious that last week's readings, Libra and Scorpio, were just, wow. It's like, mwah, they were done. Put a fork in them. Okay, Libra, we have the Knight of Coins. We have the King of Coins reversed. We have the Moon. We have the Six of Wands reversed, the Nine of Swords, and Death. Ay. Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to factor this in. I used to read on the radio. I used to read for David Smith had a show, and he was very gracious. I used to read tarot on the radio, and when you read on the radio, you don't have the luxury of being quiet. You have to constantly talk. You can't have dead airspace. So it kind of got me used to reading and not stopping to talk. But in this case, I gotta look at these cards for a second, guys. So just bear with me, because they look like they're about career, but I don't think they really are. So, and I'm concerned about this Moon, Nine of Swords, Death card combination, because often that combination, the Moon, the Nine of Swords, and Death, and again, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it can speak to suicide. The Moon being hidden, mental health issues, high anxiety, and that breaking point where and that bothers me. It bothers me too, and it's interesting because someone just commented about the suicides around the closings and the financial crunch. I'm seeing that here. The King of Coins reversed, the Six of Wands reversed. The Knight of Coins is money's coming in. I'm just not sure that it's enough. I'm not sure that it's almost like Libra's bleeding money here. or Libra is being pressured, like a sales job. My first husband was a salesman, and you're only good as your last sale, and the quotas always get higher, and the pressure is on. That's a job that, whew, and I'm feeling that off these cards. And my chest is actually getting tight. The pressure's huge, and I'm concerned. If not suicide, then something self-destructive here. Okay? So, let me throw another card. Okay, the Four of Wands. That's good. So, the Four of Wands is usually something to celebrate. First of all, Libra, if it's you, if you're feeling that you're on that breaking point where you can't take any more pressure, where, you just can't cough up the money to get, it's just not there. There's no way to pull money. I've been there. I get that. Where there's bills to pay and there ain't no money to pay them, and that's a horrible place to be. Damn. It is going to get better. The Four of Wands is saying it's going to get better. The Knight of Coins is saying it's going to be there. Okay. Now, if it's not you, Libra, and of course not every Libra is feeling this, but would you just please look at your kids? Okay, the Knight of Coins could be a son. Look at your brothers. It seems to be more of a male than a female thing. So obviously, if you're a female Libra, you could be feeling this, especially if you're the head of the household. Yeah, this could be you. It could also be not necessarily a suicide. I want to be clear, where it's like where I just say, fuck it, I'm quitting my job. But it is a self-destructive sort of thing. And I'm saying, like, if you just stick with it, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Okay? So don't give in to the pressure. And I have to say, too, my son, his new thing, and it's been going on for a couple months now, he's fascinated by Chef Ramsay and Hell's Kitchen. We watch this together when we're eating our dinner together. We always eat together. And he is fascinated. And, I was watching it last night, and, Chef Ramsay, and Roy knows about him, he's like, yeah, Mom, he was... he's a chef and he yells, but he says that's how he learned, yelling, and he like breaks these young chefs down, like screaming at them and really saying some awful things. And that energy is making me think of these cards right here. It's like someone putting so much pressure on you. I know me personally, he'd be wearing a pan upside his head if he talked to me like that or called me names like that. It would never fly with me. But I will say this for Gordon Ramsay, he also does a kids show. And as hard as he is on the adult chefs, he is that sweet to these young chefs. And Roy was like, Mom, you got to watch this show where he's like, you're doing a great job. That's so delicious. You did a wonderful... He's like, he's so patient and wonderful with kids. But he's like, this is shit. He spits the food out, makes fun of people, calls them... So it's... But he puts the pressure, he says, to bring out your best. He wants the very best. But that's really a shitty way to do it, frankly. Honestly, that's psychologically, that's damaging. I hope that helped. The point is, do what you gotta do, let off steam. Don't be self-destructive. Don't let whatever pressures you're under cause you to do something stupid, because it's going to get better real soon. And I guess what makes me nervous is having known people who've attempted suicide and other people in other situations where it's like if you just hung on a little bit longer, it would have really been okay. And and people who attempt it and come back, they realized at that moment, oh my God, what have I done? Because all these problems can be fixed. But I just took a bottle of pills. I just jumped off a bridge. I can't fix that now. Okay? And that idea of, quitting your job is it may not be the answer. All right, I'm not going to beat that to death anymore. Scorpio. see what's going on here, guys. All right. Okay. Scorpio. 10 of Coins reversed. 10 of Swords reversed. Strength. Page of Cups reversed. 10 of Cups and the 4 of Coins. Okay. So I always say what I just said. When signs are next to each other, we see similar, but just slightly different. Now, when we just saw with Libra was the pressure's on, but the money is going to be there. It'll be there. In this case, I'm seeing Scorpio happy at home, 10 of Cups. I'm seeing Scorpio healthy, strength. And I'm seeing Scorpio coming up out of a tough time. The 10 of Swords reversed, coming out of it. But I'm seeing the financial pressures. The 4 of Coins. How do I make more money? I don't have enough. The 10 of Coins reversed. Financial losses in the home. I'm trying to keep the home together. Maybe not having the money to do necessary work. I see that on Facebook all the time. People whose plumbing goes, appliances go, and there's no money to replace those. I need a new washer. There's no money. Roof leak. The house, a tree fell on the house. I don't have the deductible. I hear that a lot. I don't have the deductible. What am I going to do? And it's man, when your septic system goes, it's a $30,000 job. So this really speaks to the frustration of just not having what you need to keep your home together financially. And it's a home that you love. You don't want to sell the house. You don't want to, you're happy there. It also looks like it's important to you, looking at this Page of Cups reversed, is to keep the kids there. This almost speaks to a divorce situation where you have someone saying, we're going to sell the house and divide it in half, when the really unselfish thing to do is to say, let's get the kids to their 18 years old, get them through high school, and then we'll sell the house. And I always say, too, there's not very often, but in divorces, when people really put their kids first, there's all kinds of ways you can construct things, one of which is to get a little studio apartment, a very inexpensive studio apartment, and rather than moving the kids can stay put in the house, and you parents, you rotate in and out. And what goes on in the apartment stays in the apartment. But when you're home with the kids, and maybe it's 1 week on, 1 week off, this works. I've read about this, having worked in mental health. There's ways to construct a divorce where you can keep things intact in a healthy manner. But very often, somebody wants out and they want their assets. They want, we're selling the house, and or someone's angry and they're like, you're going to be out of the house now. And that's what I'm seeing here, is this idea of, I don't want to be out of my house. How am I going to do this? How am I going to manage through this with the home and keeping it? And you will. And here's the thing, Scorpio, you will. I'm seeing the Strength card. Just like with Libra, the cards that indicated the 4 of Wands, there's success coming. Yeah, you're going to do this. You're going to do this. I'm just going to throw one more card for Scorp. Ace of Swords reversed. I'm going to throw another card for Scorpio. The Sun. Okay. Because what I was going to say with the Ace of Swords reversed is you can do this. It's not going to happen right now. And it's not. It's not going to happen right now. Just like with Libra, it's not going to happen. But it's coming. With Scorpio, I'm seeing the Sun. Sun and the Star are the 2 best cards in the deck. It's coming. Okay? But it's not coming right now. And the thing about Scorpio, when they're stressed, Scorpio gets quiet. Scorpio is not one. In fact, even with readings, they come for readings when they've exhausted every other possibility to get their answers. That's when Scorpio comes in for a reading. Scorpio goes deep and gets quiet. And that's where Scorpio's at right now. How am I going to do what I got to do to meet my needs? And the strength is there. Scorpio will move a mountain. If you piss them off, they're going to drop that mountain on you, just for the record. But man, there's nothing Scorpio won't do for people they love. And so this is this idea of I'm trying to keep this together. And it's bigger than you are, Scorpio. It's bigger than you. All right? Just be patient. It's going to come. And I would tell you if it wasn't. I would tell you if it's time to file bankruptcy. I would tell you if it's time to move, give it up. But it's not. It's not. It's going to be okay. All right? And yeah, I do deliver news like that. I deliver news like that. It's time to go see a lawyer. It's time to get your bank. Do you have a place to go? Yeah, you're going to lose the house. I do deliver that news. I always say I'm good at delivering bad news. I don't sugarcoat anything. And I don't believe that everything always has a happy ending. It doesn't. Sometimes it's just an ending. But then it's time for a new beginning. And I've read enough people over the years, 10 to 30 a day, just for the 13 years I've had the store. Because I read late at night. I've got clients all over the world at this point, and time zones being what they are, New Zealand, Australia, Saudi Arabia, Ireland. They're everywhere. Israel. Is that I'm reading well after the shop is closed and before it opens. But, when things seem like, God, it's just the worst thing that could possibly happen, how many times do I see people come back in 2, 3, 4 months later saying to me, thank God that happened. Thank God I didn't get that job. I'm so glad now. I've got a client that's very dear to me, and for 4 years, it's been about saving her home, the house that she got from her grandfather, who built the home. It's an Italian family. And after a contentious divorce, I'm not going to bore you with the details, awful shit, awful shit. And all she wanted was to keep her home, coming down to the wire with legal issues and foreclosure issues and all kinds of stuff. And this is a kind woman who works very hard. She went to see an open house with a friend. She wasn't looking for herself, right? Just go with a friend, support over. Fell in love with this condo complex. Fell in love with it. And within 2 months, a beautiful corner unit. She was like, oh my God. Long and story short, it landed in her lap. She just moved in. The house that she thought she could never leave. The house her grandfather built. She's living in this and a whole new life. It's with new community, new people. So what looked like the worst thing that could happen was tell me I can lose my house. And I'm like, I don't see you losing your house. Well, she didn't lose it. She chose to walk away from it. She was happy to walk away from it, to start a new life in a condo. And just as I'm getting goosebumps because it was like the best thing ever to see her so happy. And if you asked her 2 months earlier, she said that. If you told me 2 months ago that I was going to go live in a townhouse, I would have said, and be happy about it. I'd have been crying. So see how things can change, how life can change. What you thought was the worst thing ever can be the best thing ever. So anyway, enough of that. Sagittarius. The wheel reversed. Wheel of Fortune reversed. The Six of Swords. The Eight of Wands. The Four of Swords. The Hangman. And Judgment reversed. All right. At first glance, what I'm seeing is Sagittarius who loves to travel. I've never met a Sag yet that didn't like to travel. Thinking about relocation, thinking about going elsewhere because things aren't working out where you are. The idea of bringing your career, the Eight of Wands, someplace else. Transfer. Yeah, that's the Six of Swords. It's a big move. Move across an ocean, move across a big body of land. So looking at states, leaving the state kind of thing. And I'm going to say for whatever reason that just can't happen right now. Okay? Wheel of Fortune reverse is holding you in place. The Hangman. Now, what do I see for this? The Four of Swords. Very often you can't leave because your kids are too young. Very often you just can't uproot your kids. Or you're divorced. You can't just leave because the kids aren't 18 and you can't cross state lines. So this idea of staying put for now, the Hangman, which is delayed gratification. I'm looking at the Judgment reverse, which is kind of being kept in place. But there's a sense of relief, the Four of Swords, because I want to say that you're targeting where you want to go. You're targeting where the opportunities are. Sometimes, you work at a job where you're in the wrong part of the country. If you're an oceanographer, you probably don't want to be in the middle of Ohio. Dayton, Ohio might not be the best place unless there's a really amazing aquarium there. You usually want to be on a coastal place for that, There's just certain places where the jobs are plentiful. Somebody was just telling me there's so many jobs as part of Pennsylvania, and they're like, I've got like 5 job offers lined up there, and here I am stuck in Connecticut, but they're making those plans to move. Okay? And it's just like, and there's family there. It's just that there's a situation, there's a divorce situation that's got to be dealt with first. So for Sagittarius, God, I think she's a Sag too. This is a phone reading I just did. You know where you want to be. You know where the opportunities are, the creative, the work. But you're going to be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to stay where I am right now. It's going to be okay. There's a sense of relief, just knowing that it's there. But I'm going to say it's not coming right now. Maybe, let me see here. No, the Chariot reversed. You're going to wait a little longer, but you know where you want to go. Okay, you know. It's not even about money. It's not. There's no cards here that indicate that money's keeping you in place. It's just not time to go yet. It could be you're waiting for a transfer with work, and you're waiting for that transfer to line up right so you can go. And they've told you, in 6 months, there's going to be an opening. We're going to put you wherever, and you're like, I'll go anywhere. I want that promotion. I want to move forward. And it's also maybe knowing that the promotion can't happen in where you are. You've got to go to another office. And, but knowing it's going to happen, knowing that, those plans are in place, that you're next in line for the transfer, or you know where you're going to go, it's okay. Good night, Erin. All right? Oh, Carolyn, I'm so glad. All right? Sag. Capricorn. Capricorn. Okay? Queen of Coins. That's Capricorn. The Devil. The Knight of Wands. The Queen of Cups reversed. The Six of Cups. And the Seven of Swords. So the first thing I see, honestly, it speaks to trouble at home. Okay? Queen of Cups reversed. The first thing I would ask you if I was reading these cards for someone across from me is like, what's going on with your mom? What's happening with your mom? Is she depressed? Is she sad? Is she not feeling good? And this idea of I need to go home. There's something, Seven of Swords, there's something, either someone's not telling you, but there's something brewing at home that your mother maybe isn't telling you about, but you need to deal with it. You need to be involved in that. I almost want to think that there's someone in the family that's doing something destructive within the home, and Capricorn, you got to go in there and take charge and deal with it. I mean, that's the first thing I see here, because jobs online, the Knight of Wands has you creative, has you moving forward, but the Devil next to the Seven of Swords. Now, the way it could be read like that maybe you're going through trouble, you need to go home to get away. But this doesn't really speak to personal abuse. This speaks to toxicity that has to be removed. And it looks like Capricorn's the one to do it. Could it be happening in the workplace? It could, but I don't think so. This really screams home to me. The Six of Cups. Now, the Thanksgiving weekend is, and it could be that mom is upset because no one's coming home. It could be that simple. That, you're at work, fine, and that's Capricorn's happy with that, working. Truly, I've not met a Capricorn yet that wasn't happy not working. But it it still needs to be dealt with. If mom's really sad, you should really, do a Zoom Thanksgiving or something. It could be that simple, or it could be that you need to get home and kick some ass, because someone's not behaving properly. And it just could be someone's an addict in the house and it's acting up, or it's not about finances. It's about behavior, okay? And it's not self-destructive either. It's something that's being imposed here. All right? And I always laugh. I have so many Capricorns that I read, and they're hysterical. And I had one Capricorn, young woman that I know. She's a young kid, and she was leaving a job, and she was in great shape. And she was telling me about this. She was in great shape. She had her savings. She had enough to go like 4 months easily, was going to take her time and find the right job and not rush and not feel pressured to work. And I was like, that's great. That's the attitude, take your time and, give it some thought. Take a week and just don't do any work at all. Just kind of enjoy your daughter and relax. And she's like, take a couple day trips, chill out. She's like, yeah, that's okay, good. Back at me 2 weeks later, literally, throw some cards. There's no opportunities. I'm sending out my resume. No one's getting back. I said, it's been 2 weeks. You said that you had 4 months. It's just 2 weeks. There's nothing happening yet. I'm like, oh, dear God. So much for taking a break, But that's Capricorn. Capricorn is, whew, that's tough. And she's not the only one. I've met quite a few Capricorns. The minute that they're out of, not working or threat of a layoff. Oh my God, how many Capricorns are they going to be doing layoffs? That's a big reading with Capricorns. What's going on at work? Do I still have a job? Anyway. All right. Aquarius. Hey, Greta. Good night, honey. Okay, Aquarius, 3 of Wands. We have the King of Wands. We have the 9 of Coins. We have the 2 of Swords, the Knight of Swords reversed, and the Magician. Okay. Well, the 3 of Wands, the King of Wands, and the 9 of Coins, those are great cards. That's working, and 3 of Wands is celebration in the workplace. It looks like you're having fun at work again, or, certainly there's reason to be happy at work. 9 of Coins, money's flowing, the work is flowing, you're busy, friendly. Aquarius is very friendly. Aquarius likes being in an environment where they're friendly, camaraderie. They like working in committees. They like the group thing. They're good with that. No, Capricorns can't chill. I mean, that should be like on a t-shirt, okay? Anyway, I'm talking about Aquarius now. But then we move forward into this reading, and we see the 2 of Swords, which is rock in a hard place, the Knight of Swords reversed, lack of communication, and the Magician. It's almost as if Aquarius is saying, I know better, but I'm going to let you figure it out for yourself. Okay? I know what you should do, but you know what? You know so much, figure it out. That's not like an Aquarius. They're really friendly people. But you know what? Aquarius is also an air sign. And they can shut it down. So, they are better than any other sign, man. Aquarius, for all that they're a paradox, really. Most Aquarians are a paradox because they're in that house of humanitarian efforts, work by committee, friendship, house of brotherly love, and yet they resent anyone trying to put them in a box. They resent anyone, trying to infringe on their independence and their right to be themselves. And, they're also the revolutionary. So, they're not ones for the status quo, even when they're asking everyone else to behave in the status quo. So in this case, Aquarius is coming across as an authority figure, but is saying, you know what? I am going to sit right here and I'm going to watch you do what you got to do. And that's hard to do. That's really, especially if it's a kid and they're messing up, but you got to let them mess up. It could be that you've got a boss who thinks he knows more than you do. And you're like, okay, buddy, do it. Go ahead. even though you know there's gonna be a mess and you have to, it's like, no, I'm gonna let you fall on your face. That's really what I'm seeing here for Aquarius. It's you're sitting in that enviable position of you're there, and it's not that you're enjoying this, but it's like, hey, you know what? You know so much, buddy. Go ahead and have at it. You know? When I was opening my shop, and in the years I've had my shop, not recently, but I've had a few people that were opening up shops. I had a few people who were business people, and they were gonna, show me how it was done or tell me how things were done. And I was like, but I'm gonna keep doing things the way I do them. But thank you. Those stores are closed now. Those people are not. But it's okay. And it's the same kind of energy. It's like, okay, buddy, you know so much. All right. It also can be just a drawing back of energy for Aquarius. Maybe Aquarius is tired and doesn't want to be. We all have these moments where it's like, I got to shut this down. I need to just not be. Someone else has got to step up for a little while and be in charge. I need to recharge my batteries. I need to recuperate. I need to, so it could be that too for Aquarius. But it's definitely Aquarius in their strong suit. And no worries there. Okay? There isn't even a sense of like malevolence. It's just a matter of, okay, I'll let you do what you got to do. Pisces. Good night, Sha. Okay, Pisces. The Hermit reversed. The Two of Cups reversed. The Eight of Swords. The Two of Coins, Justice reversed, Seven of Wands. All right. Well, Hermit reversed, Two of Cups reversed. Two of Cups reversed, and the Eight of Swords. Man, that speaks of self-inflicted isolation, choosing to be alone, in other words. Two of Cups is always two people that want two different things, and the Eight of Swords is the Eight of Swords. Sadness, mourning, giving up. So these three cards, just looking at these three, it's like, I'm giving up. I think of that song, I'm giving up on you. I'm giving up. Say something, I'm giving up. And that's tough. Two of Coins. Justice reversed. Seven of Wands. Well, Seven of Wands is always education. Justice reversed. Two of Coins. I mean, straight up, this looks like somebody who has to see a lawyer, who has to go seek out some kind of legal counsel. Become educated on something to preserve the finances. Two of Coins. I'm going to throw one more card. Queen of Wands. So I'm saying, Pisces working. Queen of Wands. It's almost like my personal life is in shambles. I can't deal with it, so I'm going to work on my professional life right now. Again, it's all about playing to your wheelhouse, and right now I'm going to say Pisces is like, I can't fix this problem. It's this problem with partnership. It's not even about heartbreak. There's no heartbreak. We can't reconcile this. And there's times you can't reconcile when you got someone, and this happened a couple times this week too, where you got somebody that wants children and someone who doesn't want children. And that happens when people get together who are like a decade or more in difference. You got a man who's in his late 40s who already had a family with a woman who's in her early 30s saying, I want kids. You remember Sex and the City? Remember that? When the Russian with Carrie? But I had children. I don't want more children. It's like that. I can't reconcile this. You can't. We want two different things. And I think, making that decision. Do I want to be alone? Do I want to start over with somebody else? Do I want to, and what do? Sometimes you got to walk away. And you just got to say, okay, I'm going to focus here on work and school and what I need to do. And if it is a matter of being in a marriage and saying we can't reconcile this, we need to not stay married, maybe going to last, looking at the school card, maybe try to get through to summer, okay, till our kids are out of school. A lot of folks with kids do that. I've done that. You get divorced during the summer. Kids have the summer to kind of get adjusted to new things. But there is a sense of it not being fair, justice reversed. And again, juggling money. But the Queen of Wands has Pisces in a place of strength, working, but just maybe coming to that realization that there's a partnership or a friendship, because the Two of Wands, there's no broken hearts. It could be a friendship. It could be a business partnership where two friends started a business together, and now it's like we're at this impasse, and the idea of dissolving up a business partnership. And we see that when like two sisters, two brothers, two best friends start a business, and then it reaches that point where, it's not working. And you gotta figure it out, okay? So, but you're gonna figure it out. And when I see the Queen of Wands, I think of someone who's friendly, who's hardworking, who's well liked, and again, sometimes you gotta put it down, just like Leo, put it down and go away. And with Pisces, it's like, you know what? Get out of the house, get away from the relationship, get away from the partnership, and do something creative by yourself. Self-imposed isolation. That's self-imposed. I can't do you right now. I can't be around you right now. I can't talk to you right now. I'm gonna go do something different, and we'll come back to this. Okay? But it is the realization that maybe it's just not gonna work out, and there's a sadness to that. It's sad. All right. All right. So that's the reading. And of course, we're looking at the holidays. And the holidays can be great. They can be really rough on people. We know that drinking and suicides and all these mental health issues start to escalate. Now we got people who really can't travel. And Thanksgiving week is the most traveled week of the year. And here we have people who are absolutely not able to do that. And that's often, for many people, it's the only time of year they see their families. So there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of angst here. So I guess, we have to reach out. We have to take advantage of the technology that we have now to have those Zoom events. And then we're talking about that. I'm hearing that all the time. It's everyone around the Thanksgiving table virtually. Hey, listen. It's better than being alone altogether, right? All right, Deanna, you're welcome. Okay, guys, listen, thank you for being here. Everyone, get some rest. It's late, and guys, I'll see you soon. Behave yourselves and take care. Okay, bye-bye.